Hi everyone, Vegas from Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard, here to review The Nice Guys starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, directed by Shane Black. And if that name sounds familiar, that last name, yes, he wrote Lethal Weapon and he Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is phenomenal with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. If you haven't seen that, it's just, what a great screenplay, what a great movie. So I was really excited about this movie. We've been seeing so much publicity about it, the standees in the theater, very 70s, you know. So there's a lot of buzz about this movie. And right from the very beginning, we have the classic Warner Brothers logo. Okay, I'm talking to the people over 35, 40 now. The classic Warner Communications, really cool. So that comes roaring up, and I thought to myself, wow, here we go. We're going to be in for something special. Because I was a kid in the 70s. So we're talking like, 1976. I was born in 66. So 76, I was 10, all through the... And I was obsessed with cop shows. So I'm talking Starsky and Hutch and Cannon and Barnaby Jones and Mannix, all of those shows. I mean, I never missed any of them. And this is before VCRs. So, I watched a lot of television in the 70s. So anyway, we have this, the movie starts, sets off a great tone, and it's essentially a buddy cop movie, except one's a private investigator, Ryan Gosling, and Russell Crowe is kind of an enforcer. He's a thug for hire. And they get together, they cross paths on a missing persons case, a porn star, Misty Canyons. It's crazy, I know. So these guys have to join forces together to figure out this, what becomes kind of a complicated plot to find out why she's missing, who's behind it. It's one of these movies that's just, as one plot wraps itself up, another one starts up again. So it's just kind of like, almost like jumping with checkers. You get kings and you go boom, 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 boom. Once you think the movie's about over, then one simple line is, hey, we got to do this. And you think to yourself, wait a minute, oh my God, there's another 30 minutes to kind of resolve that plot. So while the screenplay, I think it has a lot of energy and a lot of comedy in it, I think that the movie went on too long. I thought, and it was just too conventional. Things just kind of like popped up. It was really a television movie. It really was a TV series. It's like a glorified Starsky and Hutch, but with comedy in it. Well, there was comedy in Starsky and Hutch too. So essentially, now what about Gosling and Crowe? What's their chemistry like? It is really funny. If they just have great. Gosling has such great timing, and Crowe is more of a straight man in this movie, even though he has his moments, But Ryan Gosling really plays this character, this PI that is just nothing like anything you've seen in his career. So he gets more of the laughs than Russell Crowe, but they do play off each other. And I was just sitting there dying because Russell Crowe really just looks like he does that slow burn. He's more of the intelligent one, but then Gosling has more of the smarts in terms of how to be a PI. And we have a backstory with Ryan Gosling's character. We know about his family and all these other things that's going on, but we really don't know anything about Russell Crowe. I think there's maybe one line or one scene, a flashback, with his wife that he was once married one time, but he's more of an enigma more than Ryan Gosling is. And in terms of the story, there really isn't a clear-cut bad guy. There really isn't, and it's almost, we have this guy who has a blue face. I won't tell you how that happens. He's kind of like, one of the heavies in the movie. It just reminds me of Lethal Weapon, the guy with the white hair from South Africa, or just one of these henchmen that's going around doing this plot because as they're trying to find out the death of this porn star, they're uncovering things they're not supposed to. They're getting too close to some truth. And not only that, there's also Bomer plays a hitman that the joke is they call him John Boy because he's got a mole just like John Boy does on the Waltons, which I thought was really funny. I have all the Waltons box sets right here. Look right there. That's the Waltons. I love the Waltons. I'm a huge fan of the Waltons. And Richard Thomas has that mole. So anyway, that was a little joke. There's so many 70s references in this movie. But I did see a mistake. And Jaws 2, it said it had a billboard. That didn't open until 1978. They were going down Sunset Boulevard, that famous Tower Records. Oh, God, I can't believe Tower's gone. But they had Jaws 2 up there. So, hey, Shane, continuity error. Someone who really stole the movie, almost every scene she was in, was Angourie, who plays Ryan Gosling's 13-year-old daughter. She's almost like this little Nancy Drew who keeps going where she's not supposed to. She's going to these adult parties. She's just getting in trouble everywhere she goes, but she's helping the investigation. It's crazy to see this little girl and some of the situations she's in. Some of the things where I thought were a little risque, that people didn't laugh, some really adult situations. I'm like, wow, that was kind of strong. But, it comes from the material in the script and from the material of the character. So she really held her own against these two powerhouse actors. And also Keith David, one of my favorites. He has a little role in the movie where he's one of these henchmen too, which is kind of weird because he's such a great actor, but he's doing something you've never seen before. So just being this thug. And so there's a lot of car chases. There's a lot of that 70s gunplay and the music. Oh man, the bass and the funk that's going on. So there's a lot of things I like about this movie. So I'm really torn with this film because I thought it just went on too long. It just got to be overwhelming. And so I'm not saying I hated it. I'm not saying I loved it, but I really liked it. Does that make sense? And I don't give minuses or pluses in my grades. I refuse to. So I'm just really torn to say, you know, is it above average or is it below average or is it average? And I have to say, I just think it's just right on the edge of a B and a C. It's just right on the edge of there, just right on the edge. You know, say what you will, I'm a huge fan of LA Confidential, and this movie is a love letter to Los Angeles. The locations you're going to recognize, they even use one of the same houses that was in LA Confidential. Russell Crowe is in LA Confidential, Kim Basinger's in Confidential. So there's just, as you look around this movie, just like The Hangover, and I told this to Todd Phillips, that is a love letter to Las Vegas. You know, this is a love letter to LA because they're using all these great locations, and it's just got that great 70s feel. There's so many little moments in this movie with the dialogue and the characters that is just really hysterical. Then there are times where the plot comes in, one of the plots, and it just kind of bogs the movie down because you understand that they have to do something. You know, it's like, oh, we have to go here and search for this or do that. And you're just like, oh my God, you know, we have to get through that. So that's my only complaint. But overall, there's some really funny moments in this movie and the chemistry between them. I really think there could be a sequel. I really do. Probably one of the most talked about movies of this summer, The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. It is really unique. I'd love to know what Tarantino is going to think about this because it is 70s to the core. It really did. And it made me feel like I was 10 years old again, seeing all the clothing, all the TV shows, all the references. Shane Black, you know, you did a good job. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this movie. And hopefully there'll be a sequel. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. And if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe, share. Yeah, all that stuff. Nice Guys is in theaters now. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. Thanks for coming along. I'll talk to you next time.